Galantamine and Huperzine-A, the two most popular lucid dreaming supplements. Let's talk about the pros and cons of each, whether one is better than the other or not. And before we get started and before we get into that, if you actually want to get your hands on Galantamine or Huperzine-A, check out the affiliate links in the description. There should be two links down there. One of them is where you can get Dream Leaf and Galantamine. The company sells both. Dream Leaf contains Huperzine-A and Galantamine is obviously Galantamine. And the other one is for LucidEsc, which is another Huperzine-A supplement that you can also get at a bit of a discount if you use the code that's next to the link. If you actually end up using one or both of those links to order, then that helps support this channel, so thank you. Now with that little note out of the way, let's get into the video itself. So I have tried both Huperzine-A in both of the supplements that I mentioned. I've also tried Galantamine. And in a lot of ways, these are very similar supplements. They work through a similar mechanism by essentially increasing acetylcholine levels in the brain so that you spend more time in REM, have more vivid dreams, remember your dreams more clearly, and are more likely to have lucid dreams. That said, there were definitely some distinct differences that I noticed between the two of them. The first thing I want to comment on is the dreams themselves. So, as well as improving your chance of getting lucid, both of these supplements increase the amount of regular dreams that you remember. They improve the length of those dreams, the stability of those dreams, and they can lead to you having some really wild, crazy dreams. But I did notice a very big difference in the character of the dreams that I got from both supplements. With Huperzine-A, it was just your typical crazy dreams, you know, big long adventures, traveling the world. And there was no real particular theme that was going through all of these dreams. They could be about anything and everything. On the other hand, with Galantamine, I'm not particularly sure why this is, but I was having a lot of kind of creepy dreams, I would say. Think almost paranormal or mystery or thriller type stuff. Not quite nightmares per se, because they weren't scary, but they were kind of a bit unnerving, and when you woke up afterwards you were like, what the hell was that? Now I can't say for certain that this is a universal experience of Galantamine, but I found that this was true for me every time that I took it. I was getting loads of those dreams, so I think there might be something to it, and I did do a quick little Google search to see if anyone else had had that experience, and I did find a few other people saying something similar. Now, whether this is a pro or con to Galantamine or to Huperzine-A is really going to depend on you. Personally, I like all kinds of dreams, so it didn't really make much of a difference to me. I like the dreams that I got from Huperzine-A, I like the dreams that I got from Galantamine. They were both very interesting and new experiences compared to the dreams I was usually having. The next thing that I want to talk about is the incidence of getting lucid itself. So I compared the two and I found that for me personally, Huperzine-A had a slightly higher chance of getting me lucid than Galantamine did. Now it's worth noting that I haven't experimented with Galantamine quite as extensively as with Huperzine-A, so it is entirely possible that this is simply a dosage issue or something like this. But based on my limited experiences, if you were just looking to get the absolute maximal chance of getting lucid and you were only able to pick one or the other, then I would definitely go for Huperzine-A. However, the difference wasn't that substantial and both of them produced a very high incidence of lucid dreams. Now on the flip side, something that was definitely in Galantamine's favour was dream control and stability. I found that I had massive improvements in dream stability with Galantamine, which has always been one of my weaknesses. Some of my lucid dreams are very long, some of them are very short, some of them are in the middle, but I do have probably a higher incidence of those shorter lucid dreams than, say, someone else might. I think everyone has some area of lucid dreaming where they struggle more than others. You know, someone might have difficulty flying, someone might have difficulty, you know, spawning items or characters. But for me, the one that always comes back is struggling to keep the dream going. I still have lots of those dreams where I get a bit too excited, and that can sometimes be a bit frustrating. Now, when I was taking Galantamine, I found that all of my dreams were very, very long, both my regular dreams and my lucid dreams, and keeping them stable was practically effortless in comparison to the normal experience that I have with it. Normally, keeping my dreams stable is the hardest part of the lucid dreaming experience for me. I have to put a lot of time and energy into it. But there are a couple of things that I have found to really decrease the effort that you need to put into stabilising the dreams. The first of those is meditating for long periods of time in the night before you actually go to sleep. And the second one is Galantamine. Huperzine-A definitely helped in this department as well, but it wasn't quite as profound as Galantamine's effect. Galantamine basically just gave me crazy long dreams, And the other aspect of this that Galantamine did really well is it gave me lots of dreams that were in series. This was something very unique to Galantamine. I did not get this whatsoever with Huperzine-A any of the times I've taken it, but I got it every single time that I took Galantamine. And that was that I normally had several connected dreams each night. So I would dream about a particular theme, and then my next dream would contain that same theme. Or there would be a story that I'm going through several different dreams. Like I would just continue the story off in the next dream. And this also went for some of my lucid dreams, where I would have a already long lucid dream that lasted, say, 15 or 20 minutes even, and then after that ended, I would get lucid in another dream that would actually be a continuation of the previous one. So it was almost like I could have like an hour of being lucid, which is something that normally never happens because, even if I have a very long lucid dream, it's like 20 minutes and then that's it. In this case, I was having several dreams in series, both regular ones and lucid ones. And so it felt like I was getting more out of those dreams and having longer ones. Not just because the length of each dream was increased, but because of the fact that multiple dreams kind of joined together in one story. Honestly, this is probably my favourite thing about Galantamine, and why, even though the actual incidence of lucid dreams for me was slightly lower than Huperzine-A, I like these two supplements equally. Because I think one of the biggest limitations of lucid dreaming is just the time that we have to do it. Lucid dreams aren't often as long as we'd like them to be. We'd love to spend 24 hours in a dream, but we just don't dream for that long. We're limited by the length of each dream, by the length of each REM period, we have to keep the dream stable and so on. But by having a combination of longer dreams and dreaming in series, so connecting several dreams together, you can still have some pretty long experiences. Now back to Huperzine-A, a distinct advantage that I noticed with that is that when I actually woke up after a night where I'd taken Huperzine-A, I felt very well rested, I felt very refreshed. With Galantamine, it wasn't quite like that. I sometimes felt a bit groggy and tired. It felt like while it was increasing the amount of time I spent in REM, it was almost detracting from the rest of the sleep that I got and decreasing my sleep quality overall. Now, this shouldn't be a major issue because in general, no one is really recommended to take these things every single day anyway. The whole idea with supplements like Galantamine or Huperzine-A is you take them every so often, you space them out, you take them for a short period of time, and then you stop and you take a break. So if it's something that you just take every so often and in small amounts, then it's not really going to matter that much if it decreases the quality of your sleep a little bit. But if you are someone that has, insomnia, you're not getting enough sleep to begin with, you're feeling tired and groggy in the mornings, then you might want to be careful about when you take Galantamine, and you might want to save it for, say, the weekend when you don't have to be, fully alert. That said, it wasn't anything major. Like, I still felt fine when I woke up from either. I just felt out of the two that Huperzine-A left me a bit more clear-headed in the mornings, and I felt like I'd got a better night of sleep overall. Another minor difference that I noticed between the two, and this was when taking them before bed. I'm not a fan of waking up in the middle of the night in REM or just before REM to take either of these supplements for the simple reason that I often have sleep issues, particularly with falling asleep. So if I get up, get out of bed, go get the supplement, take it, get back in bed, there is a chance that I simply won't fall back asleep, at which point it's kind of rendered useless. So anyway, with taking them before bed, I noticed that with Huperzine-A, it seemed like the lucid dreams that I got and the vivid dreams that I got were more spread out throughout the night. I was getting them early in my sleep, I was getting them in the middle of my sleep, and I was getting lots of them towards the end of my sleep. With Galantamine though, it seemed like all of the effect happened towards the end of the night. I don't remember having any dreams whatsoever that I could recall in the earlier portions of the night. And in fact, one thing that I observed was a lot of the time I would sleep and get woken up by my dogs at, say, 4 or 5 in the morning. And that entire duration of sleep, I didn't recall a single dream whatsoever. In fact, I had worse dream recall than usual. And then I would go downstairs and I would fall asleep on the couch for an hour, and I would just have crazy amounts of dreams in that time, and it felt like I'd been asleep for several hours just having tons of dreams, sometimes several lucid ones. And so it seemed like all of that effect happened, somewhere around that 6-hour mark or whatever, the last REM period of the night. Now, this shouldn't mean much, but I bring it up just in case, this actually means something to you, because some people, for example, do get less sleep. If you're someone who is currently stuck getting, say, 5 hours of sleep a night, I personally think you should change that. I personally think, that's not healthy and you shouldn't be doing that. But if you are in that situation, then something like Galantamine might not be ideal, because you might not find that you're actually getting that effect because you're not actually asleep long enough to get to that last REM period where it seems to have the most effect. Now, your mileage may vary. You may find that actually, it does work for you in the earlier parts of your sleep, but for me, it all happened around that 6-hour mark. Huperzine-A, on the other hand, didn't seem to care whether I slept, 3 hours or like 10 or 12 hours. It didn't really matter how much time I spent asleep. I was always getting some vivid dreams and almost always getting some lucid dreams as well. So with that in mind, do I recommend one over the other? Well, personally, I think if you're interested in lucid dreaming and you did want to experiment with different supplements, that I think at some point it's worth giving both of them a shot. I think the experiences that I had from both of them were interesting and unique enough that it was worth trying both rather than just sticking with one of them. But I would say you're going to get good results with whichever one that you get. But, a few things to consider are, of course, if you do tend to get shorter sleep, maybe look to Huperzine-A. If you're looking for just pure outright number of lucid dreams, maybe look to Huperzine-A again. If you're struggling with stability or dream control, then you might want to look at Galantamine. Particularly if you like the idea of just having longer overall dreams and longer overall lucid dreams and dreams in series and stuff like that. And then you have to factor in price and availability. If one of them simply isn't available in your country, or it's actually a prescription medicine there rather than being available as a supplement, then that might affect things. Or you might just find that one of them is a lot cheaper, and in which case you want to go for that. But I hope this video has helped make your decision over whether or not you want to get either of them, and if so, which ones to get, a little bit easier. Again, remember though that supplements are supplements. They are designed to be supplemental to what you're already doing. In the case of dietary supplements, they're meant to be supplemental to a healthy diet. And in the case of lucid dreaming supplements, they're something that you should add to an existing foundation of solid practice. Performing the right techniques, meditating regularly, doing reality checks, keeping your dream journal. Supplements can be used as a way to improve the results that you're already getting, but I don't think they should be relied on as a crutch, and I think that you should learn how to lucid dream on your own accord. Now, inevitably, any time that I post one of these videos, I get the same question every time in the comments, and that is whether or not I would recommend these to someone who is under 18. And I've given different answers over the years, and I've spent some time really thinking about it, and honestly, I actually think the answer to that now is no. This isn't for any safety reasons or because it won't work for someone under 18 or anything like that. This is simply for the fact that I think that during those early years when you're starting to lucid dream for the first time, and when you're young and when you have the opportunity to learn a lot faster than someone who's older, I think you should try your best to develop those skills naturally. Because if you get that solid foundation, then later on when you do, for example, try a lucid dreaming supplement, you're going to get much better results from it. I also can't speak for everyone, but I know for myself, during that kind of age range, the teenage age range, I was kind of obsessed with instant gratification. And I think if you find that there is a supplement that just gives you lucid dreams almost every time that you take it, then you're kind of going to just want to use that as your only means of getting lucid. And I think that's going to develop bad habits overall, and you'd be better off simply learning the techniques and trying something like that out a bit later. So hopefully that answers what I think on the subject. As for adults, whether or not I think you should try one of these, I personally think that the best times to try one if you're an adult are, one, when you've been hitting a major roadblock, like you've been trying all the techniques and stuff and you've been trying them for weeks or months and you're just not getting anywhere. I think the one use for supplements like this is to kind of give you that bit of a head start. If you haven't had any lucid dreams yet and you're not having any luck, then taking a supplement, getting that first lucid dream can make it easier to have more in future because you're familiar with that state. And the second time when I think that they can be incredibly useful is when you have all of those positive habits set up right. You're dream journaling regularly, you're doing reality checks throughout the day, you're regularly asking yourself, could I be dreaming right now? You're performing the techniques, you're meditating regularly for long periods of time. You've got everything set up perfectly to create the optimal conditions for getting lucid. Here you can try out a lucid dreaming supplement as kind of a catalyst to take what you've already done, what you've already put towards your lucid dreaming, and just amplify it and go from getting great results to getting amazing results, and then take the lessons that you learned during those experiences to improve your future lucid dreaming experiences, to work on things like dream control, to actually have a higher incidence of getting lucid even after you stop taking it. Of course, the third and final usage case scenario is just curiosity. Sometimes you just want to try one of these things out and see how it works for you. That was kind of my reason for trying them out. I didn't particularly need the extra help, and I wasn't particularly concerned with just, amplify my results for the purpose of improving my skills and so on. I really just wanted to try these things out and see how they worked and, be able to talk about them and tell you guys about them and so on. Once again, if you're interested in either of these supplements, be sure to check out the affiliate links in the description down below. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to subscribe and, more importantly, enable notifications, because that way you'll actually see my videos when they come out. If you like what I do here, check out my Patreon page if you want to support the channel, and if you want to keep watching, pick one of the videos on screen, go watch that, and I'll see you soon. Take care.